Absolute hidden gems in video games of the last years. Get ready because there are insane games in this list. Hope you like it. Thumbs up the video, subscribe for more,
Stay
and let's
alert.
go.
I'll be careful.
Bulletstorm is an absolute hidden gem. It's a first-person shooter game with a lot of charisma and amazing mechanics. It was developed by the studio People Can Fly and released originally in 2011. But in 2017, a remaster version was released, and now it's available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 3 and 4, Xbox 360 and 1, Windows, and even on VR systems such as PlayStation VR 2 and MetaQuest 2 and 3. Step into the boots of Grayson Hunt after a crash landing on an old resort planet forces him to make a hard choice: survival or revenge. The best part of the game is by far the gameplay. With an insane combat, it seems a sort of Gears of War in some moments. Even the running system is similar, but the combat is also a sort of score game. Certain types of ways to kill the enemies, you'll earn more points, and with these points you can buy upgrades for your weapons or gadgets. And there are many: rifle, revolver, grenade launcher, and more. So if you're searching for a unique and fun game, this is the one for you.
Last winter, we were up on Farewell Ridge. We were watching the freaks. Thousands of them. I mean, too many to count. All I could think was, every one of us, man, woman, and child, are now homeless.
I could have put Sarah on a chopper. I felt relieved. How fucked up is
Days
that?
Gone is an insane post-apocalyptic open-world game where there's zombies everywhere, and there are many, so you better be quick. It was developed by the studio Ben Studio and released to PlayStation 4 in 2019. Many people that tried the game in the launch date was disappointed, especially because of the performance. That was really bad back then. So many people just dropped the game and never returned, what even made other players think that the game wasn't worth. But the point is the performance was fixed, and the content of the game is really good to be ignored. The world is fun to explore, and combat is fluid and extremely satisfying. And the story, despite it's not a masterpiece, it got its good moments, but for me, the best thing of the game is explore its universe. Riding with the bike everywhere to see what you can find, what feels really immersive.
Two Dog.
Two Dog! Damn it! Stop, Two Dog!
I'm trapped here. In this nightmare. I write to escape. Every word is a step forward. Into darkness.
It's right up your alley.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale.
Alan Wake 2 is the sequel of the original game released in 2010. That's also an excellent game. But Alan Wake 2 was released in 2023, and in my opinion didn't get all the attention it deserved, because it's a masterpiece, one of the best horror games ever released. It was developed by the studio Remedy Entertainment and released to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. It was even competing for the Game of the Year in 2023, but Baldur's Gate 3 won it. But Alan Wake 2 won the award of Best Direction and Best Narrative. Different of the first game, here it's much more than combat and storytelling. There's so much more to explore and discover, with much more puzzles, possibilities, connections, even with control. That's another excellent game. There are combat moments, but it's really different of the first game that was faster, with a lot of ammo and enemies everywhere. Here it is slower, but also way more immersive in the fights. So if you want to play a game with a dense story and impressive moments, this is the game.
Someone knew they were here. Was playing a game with them.
Killer left a message.
There's something I'm forgetting. Something important.
You called me. So here I am.
Control is a third-person shooter game with a lot of personality. Its structure is like a Metroidvania game. As you advance, more skills you'll get, and with that, you'll be able to reach new areas that you couldn't before. The game is set in the same universe of Alan Wake. Even got a DLC about Alan Wake that's really good too. Both games were developed by the same studio, Remedy Entertainment, and it was released in 2019 to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows, and later a version to Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 5 was also released. The gameplay of the game is really fun, fluid, and addictive. As you get a new skill, a new world of possibilities will unlock before you, allowing you to use it in combat, or even to reach new areas. And about combat, the game got many different weapons, and all of them can be upgraded and changed with items you'll be finding along the game. What makes the progression really satisfying. And the storytelling is insane, with great characters and a mystery feeling that will get you really hooked for a long time.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. My brother was just a kid when they took him. They thought I'd never find this place, that I'd forget about him. They were wrong.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the spiritual successor of the father of Metroidvania games, Castlevania's Symphony of the Night. It's set in the same structure, a Metroidvania with a simple gameplay and simple mechanics, but a universe that's rich with story and possibilities, such as enemies, powers, weapons, armors, and much more. It's set in a universe that, just like Castlevania, won't show you exactly what to do. So explore here is crucial. Always when you find a new key item, you know you'll be able to use it somewhere, so it's important for you to learn the path you walk. The studio that brought us the game is Artplay, and it was released in 2019 and is available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Android, iOS, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, and Amazon Moon. I know many fans of Symphony of the Night know this game, but if you don't, give it a chance. Despite its gameplay and graphics are simple, its universe is really interesting, even more if you played Symphony of the Night.
Naturigan ahí.
Max. My name is Max.
In Mad Max, you begin with nothing. Your car, your family, your life. Everything has been taken from you. Now all that's left is your will to survive.
Mad Max is an immersive open-world game in the beloved, but kind of forgotten nowadays, world of Mad Max, an insane and deadly world. The game was developed by the studio Avalanche Studios and released to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Mac OS, and PC in 2015, 10 years ago, and it's to this day a great open-world experience. In case you're a fan of the movies, it's going to be even more immersive for you, because you know how it all works, since the dangers, enemies, and the world itself. But if you don't know the series, it's still going to be really good, as the game will tell you all you need to know. The gameplay mixes exploration, combat, racing, combat in the car, and more. The melee combat is really similar to the Batman Arkham games, but with its own mechanics. One of the most important features of the game is your car, as it's what you're going to use for your exploration. So you can improve every part of the car that will make it feel as you're always making progress in the gameplay. So if you didn't play it, go ahead, you won't regret.
The first thing you must do is build a new car.
Here she lies, the magnum opus.
This is your magnum opus. Acquiring necessary gear throughout your journey allows you to upgrade your vehicle. These upgrades will let you build and customize your magnum opus.
I'm trapped. I know what's real.
Go to Wonderland. It's only a dream.
Alice Madness Returns is an action-adventure game mixed with a hack and slash, all set in an even darker universe of Alice in the Wonderlands. The game was developed by the studio Spicy Horse Games and was released in 2011 to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Windows, and so far didn't get a remastered version, but is a game that deserved it. Despite that you can play on Xbox One or Series, it's on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. In the game, we visit the grim reality of Victorian London and travel to the beautiful yet ghastly Wonderland to uncover the root of Alice's madness. A game with a cool story, a fun combat, with nice action moments, interesting puzzles, exploration, and very immersive scenarios that represents really well all the horror and madness the game needs. So in case you never played it and like cool action-adventure games, this is a game that you gotta play. I promise you won't regret.
The destruction of Wonderland is the destruction of me.
Now a new evil reigns.
Help me, Alice.
We need your help!
What's happening? I'm in hell.
Remember Me is a very original and immersive action-adventure game. It mixes exploration, combat, that's a sort of 3D beat-em-up with a very cool gameplay and a really interesting story and storytelling. The studio that brought us the game was the studio Dontnod Entertainment. The same studio of life is strange, and tell me why. So, you know that the story here is going to be immersive. It was released in 2013 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows, and to this day, it didn't get a new generation upgrade. The game is set in a future time, but not so much time ahead. So there'll be technological gadgets and weapons in the game, especially with the enemies. The universe is rich with both lore and visual beauty, as exploration is also something important in the gameplay. So if you're searching a game with a deep storytelling with a nice gameplay, this one is surely going to be an interesting experience.
Stored in her brain is every detail of every building she's designed.
I'm so very sorry, madam. How do I find her?
Your contact goes by the name of Bad Request.
Nilin the Hunter. I'm your biggest fan.
She's a pro, so keep it tight.
That's strange.
In this waking nightmare, where all dreams come true, you searched for control, a way to pull through, but in darkness they came. Through stormy black seas, they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams?
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is a dark action-adventure game that mixes combat, puzzles, a deep and great storytelling, and some nice scenes. The game was developed by the studio Ninja Theory and released in 2017 to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows, but eventually was also released on Nintendo Switch. And if you're playing in the current generation, there's an update for a better performance, even on PC actually. The gameplay of the game is really simple. Even the combat is not like a hack and slash or anything like that. But the game will hook you really fast if you like immersive stories. In the game, you control Senua, a girl who's fighting to save the soul of her dead lover, and she suffers from schizophrenia. So during the whole game, you'll keep hearing voices from her head telling Het to do or not do things. And the audio design of the game is in another level, because it all feels really well connected. So if you never played, give it a chance, and there's a sequel already. But in my opinion, it's not as good as the first game.
To these gods you cannot pray. They can break you, but not your promise. Through his darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats your heart. He fought for love unspoiled by your darkness within.
Before this whole thing started, I just floated through life. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but my life didn't start until the world came to an end.
Sunset Overdrive is an insane open-world third-person shooter. The game was developed by the studio Insomniac Games, the same studio of the new PlayStation Spider-Man game. But look how curious. This is an Xbox exclusive game. Well, not just Xbox, but also Windows. It was released originally in 2014 to Xbox One, and in 2018 it received a version to Windows. That was really welcome, because this game is really good. Embrace the chaos of Sunset City through a hyper-colorful, post-apocalyptic single-player campaign and 2 bonus expansions. Mystery of Mul Rig and Dawn of the Rise of the Fallen Machines. Outgun crazed mutants, homicidal robots, and villainous thugs on your journeys with the included weapons pack. The gameplay is fast, fluid, and dynamic, with many features like grinding everywhere in the streets, bouncing on cars, tires, wall riding, and much more, making the gameplay really fun. The combat is really good. As you move as fast as you can, there will be many different weapons you can use, each one with their own style.
Alright, nerds, this ends now!
I sense some epic missions in my future.
To battle!
And that's the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more and leave your like. Thanks, and I see you in the next video.